Hey YouTube, Team RWBY is back together in RWBY Volume 6.
Yeah, and you could watch it only on Rooster Teeth.
For free.
For free?
Nothing.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. First of all, I want to say thank you to MeUndies for being the presenting sponsor of the Rooster Teeth podcast. This is the year you can finally tackle your holiday shopping early. And guess what? You can get everything you need for you and your loved ones at MeUndies. MeUndies uses the coveted micromodal fabric, which is 3 times softer than cotton. If you've never felt this fabric, get ready to experience pure bliss in underwear form. You can also get a style that is perfectly suited for you. Men and women can each choose from 4 different cuts. You guys know how much I love MeUndies. I talk about them all the time. They provide all the right support. Micromodal is truly life-changing. My favorite pair of underwear. They're the only underwear I ever wear. And getting a new MeUndies shipment is like Christmas, if you can get the words out. This holiday season, MeUndies will be releasing a new print every Tuesday. That means you'll have no excuses not to celebrate the holidays, right down to your very core. But why stop at undies? This year, MeUndies is launching their holiday prints in lounge pants and onesies as well. I saw them there. They have the new plaid prints. Pretty cool. MeUndies has a great offer for our viewers. For any first-time purchasers, when you purchase any MeUndies, you get 15% off and free shipping. To get your 15% off your first pair, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. That's MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. This episode is also brought to you by 23andMe and Audible. We'll get to them a little later. I'm Gus.
I'm Becca.
I'm Barbara.
And I'm the third person wearing stripes.
Oh, weird.
I know.
I'm the non-striped Gus. Did you all have like a plan?
No.
I think it's
But you weren't in on the non-plan,
It's just-
apparently.
Stripe season?
I feel like this happens a lot at Rooster Teeth where people wear either the same thing because people wear our merchandise a lot or just very similar kind of looks. It's like tripleting.
Stripes are cool.
Are
You're
they?
not cool.
Yeah, I always thought like when I was younger, I thought like
Stripes
they
are
always said never to wear
cool.
stripes, but I feel like everybody wears stripes
Everyone
now.
wears stripes.
Yeah. They're back.
Also, people say not to wear stripes on camera, and all 3 of us are wearing stripes on camera.
I don't care anymore.
Well, they're not
everything I wear is striped.
They're not that thin. A couple of weeks ago, I wore like that really thin striped shirt. I think you were on that podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean for
I had
like
to like
that
change because it was so distracting.
moire? What is it called? Moire.
Moire.
I almost said armoire, and I was like, that's not the right one.
That's what you put your shirts in.
That's what you put your shirts in.
Yeah.
How you doing, Gus?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's good?
We got what's good? We got Extra Life coming up this weekend.
We do.
That's good.
Yep.
Is that your segue so we can talk about Extra Life really quick?
Yeah. Oh, look, there it is.
Oh, wow.
It's on, wait, does it start on Saturday or start on Friday?
Starts on Saturday.
Starts on
at 8
Saturday
a.m.
in the morning.
8 a.m. Goes through Sunday, 8 a.m.
Yep.
I was thinking about Extra Life because we were talking about today in the office, and it made me think, like, because we have like a whole schedule of things we're gonna do, and I was thinking about how when we used to do Extra Life, because the company was so small, A, we didn't have a schedule of things to do, and B, it was just you were on a lot, and just because there's no one else to be on,
Show up.
and so you just showed up, and you could be there for hours upon hours upon hours, and it was fine. But now we actually schedule people in and out because
It's a lot more rigid, yeah.
we want to give time for people to do it because we've got so many people
It
here.
is weird, though, because I have this weird desire to be there as long as possible.
Yeah.
Like, even if I'm exhausted and I'm not even contributing to whatever segment is happening, I just want to be there because it's such FOMO if you're not there.
I think that's also like reminiscent of like old Extra
Yeah.
Life when we used to like. I mean, that was the thing that became a thing of like how long could you be there and what's going to happen and that kind of
Right,
thing.
because you had to.
Yeah. And now, yeah. But I have like a mixed feeling of like the FOMO and just like, I don't have the stamina to be 22 to
We're
20.
getting older.
I'm old.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is John and I'm old.
That happens. And do a shout out to the community streams this past weekend who
Yeah.
raised over $100,000.
That was a surprising amount of money to hear they raised.
It's a lot of money.
That's insane. And
That's a good-
also amazing.
$1 million.
They raised $1 million.
No, 100,000.
They
a lot
made
of money.
$100 million. The
100,000.
community raised $100 million.
$100,000, but have we publicly said what our goal for this year is?
$100 million.
$100 million.
Start,
Everyone,
start
Make it a cool
donating
billion.
now.
start tweeting Elon Musk immediately.
He could get him and Bezos, and we're fine.
And Bill Gates, the trifecta.
Yeah.
Get all our billionaire boys
Did you
on
see
the hook.
that clip? I don't know if this is a recent clip or not. I just stumbled upon it on YouTube. It's a clip of Bill Gates on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and they're playing a game where he has to guess the price of common grocery store items.
Oh God.
It was like, I mean, it's what you expect because I'm sure he doesn't do his own grocery shopping or know what anything costs. So like they pulled out that giant thing of Tide Pods. I was about to say Pod Tides.
Pod Tides.
Pod Tides.
Apartheid.
And they're like, how much do you think this is? And it's like a big one. It probably has like 40 or 50 packs in there. And he's like, $4. And the whole audience goes, no.
Detergent's expensive.
It's expensive.
Detergent's really
Especially
expensive.
Tide.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's because it's so tasty.
No. Don't do that. No.
Pod Tides.
I have a question then for Gus that you just made me think of. If you
$5.
$1, Bob.
now I gotta come up with a question that goes really well with that answer. No, I was gonna say you're talking about Bill Gates is at a wealth level that you would assume he has a lot of people he pays to just do stuff for
Or
him.
just like if he does do grocery shopping, he probably
I don't
puts stuff in his cart and doesn't think about it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a completely unrealistic thing to think that he would have assistants that would take care of stuff for him.
Or not even at this point. You get like, I don't know, Instacart
Yeah,
or,
online shopping.
or something.
But then you still have to like sit down and fill your Instacart.
Yeah, but if you're a billionaire, I'm sure you don't look at the fucking total. You're like, detergent, the first one.
I would imagine he, like, if I was at that level, because grocery shopping is probably one of my least favorite things to do, I would probably just, like, pay someone to stock my fridge. And it's like, I want to have this meal this week. So, like, get the stuff I need for that.
Be the best.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about being rich enough that when you go shopping, you sort by highest to lowest in price.
Like you only buy the most expensive in each category.
I've never
That
fucking
means
done
it's the
that.
best.
I've never done that in my life. I have never, ever, ever sorted anything I'm shopping by the highest.
I'm going to go to Amazon right now and I'm going to do a search for detergent.
Oh, you're probably
And I'm
going to
gonna
find one of
sort-
those weird listings where it's like $17,000 detergent.
Oh, my God.
One left.
Sort by.
It's made of gold.
high,
made
low.
of the tears of nuns.
What?
I hear those are very expensive.
Whisk Deep Cleaning Detergent Original, 33 loads, $4,107.86.
It's probably like discontinued.
Yeah.
Why?
You can
Well,
buy-
Amazon has a weird pricing algorithm where like things that are in high demand, they keep raising the price until people stop buying them.
Liquid
So
laundry
apparently-
detergent,
I don't know.
55-gallon
That's so
drum,
weird.
$2,048.
55-gallon drum?
You can get a 55-gallon drum
okay.
of detergent. Eric,
Wait.
buy us 55
That
gallons
sounds like
of
something.
detergent.
We can do something with that for extra life,
55-gallon
right?
drum.
Yeah, we
How-
could
how-
clean
how-
all the mistakes we make that weekend with all that.
Like that typical big old blue, like...
I think that's what, like the Breaking Bad body drum.
I'm
yes,
so
that's
glad you
fine.
said it because that's all I could think of was the Breaking Bad drum that you dissolve people in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How big is that?
I think that's the 55
Is that
gallon.
50?
I think it's a 55-gallon drum, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just you going out with a cup.
Get that little scoop that comes, like, you get that little cap, you're like, boop, that much.
That'd be great.
You never,
A
like,
lifetime supply.
you're set. It's like, for the next 10 years, I got my detergent down.
It is
It's
going to
like,
suck if you get down to the bottom, though. And you got to, like, dig
Climb
yourself
in.
up.
Siphon it out.
You got to have a spot for your washer, your dryer, and your detergent.
My detergent barrel.
And then the one you dissolve, the people you've killed.
Yeah.
You got to have all those barrels.
Acid. Speaking of which, have you guys seen Making a Murderer season 2?
I haven't
Not
yet.
yet. We
I
started it.
refuse.
It didn't.
Why?
Because there's too many things to watch.
You don't
And I
want
have
to. You don't want to make a murderer.
I have to. I don't. They're gonna make me a murderer. The first season is entertaining. The second season it turns you into a murderer. No, there's too many things to watch, and I have to just say no to stuff.
Yeah.
The season 1 was so good.
I know,
And-
but then I could just leave it as this season that was great.
Yeah, that's
And
Well, it's
I'm,
a totally different narrative, right?
Yeah.
It's about the legal system,
but
right?
I want.
It goes deeper into the case. I don't want to give too much away.
that's what I'm afraid. I'm afraid that I'm not going to like season 2 as much as I like season 1. What do you think about it so far?
I finished it.
Okay.
I loved it. There's a new lawyer that took up Stephen's case named Kathleen Zellner, who just listening to her speak and talk about the case and investigate certain aspects of it to things that, like, I don't know how they missed this, how they didn't discuss this, how this wasn't even brought up in court. It's just very fascinating. She's very smart and very well spoken, and that makes it very entertaining.
and that's her thing, right? Like getting.
She's gotten, I think, 15 cases overturned, 15 guilty cases.
She's gotten 15 criminals off.
Probably
has.
more than that.
But how much does she pay for her detergent? That's what I want to know.
$4.
No, it's just too much to watch.
There's
and
a lot. I feel bad.
And Making a Murder was great, and I'm gonna move on to other great things, and I'm good with that.
But it's the thing about Making a Murderer and why I feel like everyone who watched season 1 should watch season 2 is because you are invested, I imagine.
Not anymore.
At all. Like,
Did you have strong opinions? Like, I had some strong opinions after season
At
1.
the time, yeah.
You'll have even stronger opinions
Great.
after season 2.
Do you
to
know-
a point where like I feel like I know who did it so strongly, and it angers me that this person is not being.
Do you know what was a super disappointing season 2 of something that was along the same genre? Was Serial.
Oh, yeah.
Did anybody listen?
You mean S-Town?
Shittown was good. S-Town was good. No,
it wasn't S-Town the season.
S-Town was another thing that was, I think it was just produced by This American Life or something like that. It might have been connected some other way. Serial had a second season. It's actually got a third season now.
Well, the third season's kind of interesting.
The third season I hear is interesting, and I actually downloaded it, but I didn't listen to it
I started
yet.
listening to it last night, actually.
What was the crime in the second season?
It was some military crime, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It was so boring. I hated it. The first
no.
one, I couldn't stop listening to the episodes.
That was about the teenager Anand
Yeah.
Saeed or something? or-
Yeah, see, you remember the name.
Yeah.
And it was so good. And the second one, I was just like, wow, I
Yeah.
really hate this. I'm not going to
I
listen
like
to
the
this
third
anymore.
season, though. Have you listened to any of
To
it yet?
S-Town?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, no.
S-Town is not Serial.
Serial.
It is conducted.
There's
Not
a
anyway.
same production, I believe.
Was it the same? Was it the same person? No, because it was a girl that did that.
I think it started out maybe possibly going to be
S-Town
a serial.
podcast, a new podcast from Serial and This American Life.
it's just made
it's
by
made
the
by
same,
them.
but it's distributed by the same people.
Well, I loved S-Town.
Oh, S-Town's
me too.
great.
I
Tragic.
sort of listened to season 3 sometimes.
Okay.
Because it's
Of Serial.
We're now on a podcast talking about podcasts.
Yes.
I'm fine with that because I just discovered Hank and his I'm escaping me his wife's name. Hank and something Green. What's her name?
Hank and Mrs. Green.
Yeah, they have a podcast called Delete This. I didn't know what it was, but I love listening to John and Hank Green. They're just guys I like to listen to. They're knowledgeable and fantastic and charming and great. But this is him and his wife. Fuck, why am I being such a bad person? I can't
Do you
remember
want me
her
to
name.
look it up?
Yeah, please do that so I can not be an asshole. And Catherine, Hank and Catherine Green.
Catherine.
Okay. They go through, so he's like internet famous, has like 750,000 followers on Twitter. She's not at all. She's not an internet person at all, but has done some projects with him. They go through his tweets from the last week and comment on them. And Hank is just fun to listen to. And she's just also this dry person that also has great opinions on stuff. And it's really fun to listen to them go through his tweets from the last
I would
week.
imagine if you do a podcast about your tweets every week, that would influence how you tweet.
yeah.
Possibly, but
That would just depress me. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
and I guess it also depends on how you use Twitter.
Yeah.
And so it hasn't made any sort of impact on how the episodes have felt thus far.
Okay.
I'm sure, I mean, they've done like 60 episodes, so it might change throughout the whole show. But so far, it's just them going through and like, I think it's different with him. Like, I don't know, him talking it through with his wife is a different kind of scenario than you would with like someone else.
Yeah.
But it's delightful. And I love to have podcasts I listen to podcasts almost all day long when I'm cooking, when I'm driving, anything like that.
You cook a lot.
Huh?
You must cook a lot.
He does cook a lot.
I do. I cooked a lot yesterday because I do meal prep.
He cooks exactly 100% more than I do.
What's the last meal you cooked? Let's play a game. What's the last meal you cooked?
Does heating up pizza in the oven count?
What state was the pizza? It was just
Was it frozen?
It was frozen.
That's not cooking.
No, it was takeout from the day before.
That's even
No,
worse.
that does not count.
No, let's define it as you had to actually combine ingredients and then apply heat.
Do you have to apply heat? What about a salad? Is that cooking?
Meal preparation is fine. Yeah, I'd say combining a salad. Combining
Oh, my
items.
parents are going to be so disappointed in me.
You can't remember that?
I can't. Does it count if Trevor made it for
No,
me?
it doesn't.
What about a sandwich?
I make sandwiches all the time.
There you go.
I make myself breakfast pretty much every weekend.
What's the last
Is it
breakfast
cereal?
you made yourself?
It was scrambled eggs, toast, and turkey bacon.
That's cooking. When was that?
Last weekend.
Last week? You haven't made yourself breakfast for an entire week?
Yeah. Yeah, because this week I went for brunch one day. And then what did I do the other day?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm fucking lazy.
Are you Elon Musk? Are you just so rich? You got other people making you
Detergent
for
is
free.
$4.
What's the last meal you cooked?
Last night I made.
Damn it.
She already beat you.
I made like gourmet vegan hot dogs.
Gourmet. What made them gourmet?
They're like field roast. You know,
Wait,
they're not like.
You didn't make like the hot dogs from scratch,
No.
no? Like you like with a
That's
pig
the little
intestine
next
and
level.
everything?
So I did that. I
Thank you for not cutting
grilled
together.
them,
Okay,
and they're like vegan bratwurst type stuff.
that sounds really good right now.
And
I need dinner.
some like artisan bread, and then
seasonal bread.
I sautéed spinach.
That's
Not
great.
spinach. Sorry, asparagus.
That's
The other
Ooh.
green thing. Yeah.
So dinner last night is the time to beat. Gus,
That's not a fair question for me. My house has been under construction for 6 months.
then what are you doing for food?
Eating out.
Every meal.
My
Pretty much.
man.
that was my life.
I just
Before I
don't
had
know.
kids, I ate out for like every
The renovation's almost done. I'll be cooking again soon.
Yeah.
You, Esther, who cooked last?
It's been a long time, man. I would say 99% probably Esther.
What?
My
Oh,
phone's ringing.
hello.
Your phone is ringing on your watch.
That number looks familiar, but I'm not going to answer that right now. Sorry.
Is it spoofing your number?
I hate that. No, it's not, but I hate that shit. Probably my wife. Probably.
Do you wish you did more cooking, or like that you had the opportunity to do more cooking because of your housing situation, or do you not care?
No, I like cooking. I would much rather prefer to eat at home. I think it's a lot better.
That's going to be a New Year's resolution of mine is to cook more in
Okay.
the coming year.
If you need help, let me know.
I do. Well, I actually propositioned John,
You did.
which
just
I
end the
know
sentence there.
sounds crazy.
I turned her down.
Because John is very good at the food stuff.
I'm very good at the food stuff.
food.
Hi, my name is John. I'm very good at the food
John
stuff.
Foodman.
He knows what to make for healthy eating. You know, like how to balance all your fucking numbers and
I
shit.
want you, what's the word for all those things?
Your
calories and
Macros.
macros. I don't
Becca
know
gets
shit about
points.
that. All I know is calories in, calories out.
Name the
That's how
3
you lose weight.
macros.
Fat,
Yeah.
Protein.
No, you don't help.
protein,
What's the last one? Easy.
carbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you knew him.
So I said to John, I said, I'm really shit at cooking, but I do spend money on eating out a lot. So why don't, instead of doing that, I just spend money on you buying the groceries for me and making the food for me?
You know what? Actually, I said I don't think I said no or anything at the time, but now because of how I meal prep the way I do, I really am making like just bulk protein and bulk carbs and veggies and that kind of thing. Like I legitimately could bring you a boxed lunch most days of the week because that's what I eat. I'd say
What would you charge for that?
As I was gonna say, you were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
I'd have to calculate the food cost and then do an upsell from there.
Why don't you let me know?
Okay, I could totally do it. I even have one of my favorite things I've ever bought as an adult is Amazon has these meal prep little bins, little like bento boxes that have like one big slot and then 2 little ones, and I put my protein, then my little veggies, and my rice, and the other one. It's great. I love it. I have like a dozen of them. It's fantastic.
Is it Bentgo? Do they make?
It might have been. I don't remember. I bought them so long ago, and they're like machine washable and everything. You can microwave in them.
I have the kid version of them, and I love them.
It's fantastic.
I like anything that has compartments like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that would make me meal prep if I had compartmental.
What if you had like a school lunch tray that just had like the lid over it with like all the different little compartments? You could like store everything separate
I
that
come
way.
into Barb's office and like, okay, got you.
I miss those lunch trays. I can't remember the last time I ate out of a lunch tray.
I miss
like
the lunch
that.
Do they
box.
still use those in schools?
You could get them again. You just need to go to prison.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Are they made out of metal in prison?
Yeah, they're even more
They're
durable.
probably plastic.
Can we talk about Whitey Bulger?
He died.
Who? Speaking of prison,
He died.
He was
He was Johnny Depp.
A very
Did you ever watch
famous
the movie
mob,
Black Mass?
No.
mob dude in Boston.
Oh.
And he was an FBI informant for a period of time, and then he ended up going to jail. And they transferred him recently to a new prison in West Virginia, and he was dead within 24 hours.
Yeah.
How?
They beat him with locks and a sock.
I guess like other mob hitmen in
And they tried
prison
to
killed
cut
him.
out his tongue, which is what they do to snitches.
Oh.
So they
He was
think it
also
like-
83 years old at this point.
Oh.
Yeah.
So one hit to the head, and he was probably.
Yeah, he was also in a wheelchair, and he was transferred because he exposed himself to. Or
is that why?
no, wait. He masturbated in front of. He took it. He next leveled.
He had been transferred numerous times since he'd been incarcerated. I think he'd been in like 5 or 6 different
How long had
prisons.
had he been in prison?
What was
that
it? Wasn't
long.
it 2010? I think. Oh, he also ran. He hid, and they found him living in California under an alias, and they finally caught him taking it. I think it was 2010,
Something like that.
2011. I don't know. Yeah,
8-9 years
so
ago.
not that long. Yeah, so
It just
less than 24 hours, and he was dead.
How do they like? They either knew he was coming.
I'm sure they knew he was coming. And there's also, okay, so I read it. Like, he arrived at something like 9 p.m. and lockdown for the night was already happening. But there is a 3-hour window between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. where they can go out of their cells and like do their morning routine, and they have to show up for breakfast, I think, at 8. So there's a 3-hour open window there where they were able to do whatever they
That's
wanted.
when they killed him.
So it wasn't even 24 hours. It was like 12.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Jesus. I don't want to go to prison.
Don't go.
Just put me down for I don't want to go to prison.
It just made me think about that scene in Breaking Bad where they have to orchestrate all of the murders.
Oh, yeah. That is
Wasn't
an
it
amazing
set to like
episode.
operatic music as well?
Oh, that's one of my favorite episodes of Breaking
Like
Bad.
they coordinated like 12
Was
hits
it
or
to-
something like
yeah,
that?
they,
Love
like,
is Blue. Was that the song they used?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
And like they had the ticking of the clock.
Yeah,
and
they had
it
to
was
like
just,
do it all within a minute or two.
Cut back.
Now reference
yeah.
Breaking Bad twice this episode of the podcast.
Oh, right, the barrel.
The barrels.
Oh, The Barrel, yeah. A great show.
Great show. My parents finally watched it. I've been telling them for
Oh,
years
really?
to watch it, and they just now finally finished it. So, really.
Are they like constantly saying like Breaking Bad references now? Like, I am
yeah.
the one who knocks. Like, it's like, no, it's old now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
over.
And there are things that I just don't even remember that they're referencing. I'm like, yeah, good episode.
It's really old, right? Like 2010?
No,
it
when
went-
did it end? Like 2014?
14, I
15?
think.
But when
Yeah.
did it start?
It
2000.
was 6, 7 seasons, wasn't it?
5
Yeah.
seasons.
5
the
seasons.
5th season was split, I think.
So 09 maybe?
Because I
08,
I
09?
only started watching it because you guys talked about it on the podcast, and that was before I worked at Rooster Teeth. And then,
Wow.
yeah, because I started watching it after I got here, but because you guys had
I think
talked
I
about it so
started
much.
watching it because Shannon had a part in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was
McCormick.
druggy.
I saw Shannon at HEB the other day. He didn't see me, but he was like dumping this big sheet of plastic in a recycling thing outside of HEB. And I had this moment where I was like, do I want to say hi? Because I would be like embarrassed if someone saw me doing this. So I just walked off.
So instead, you told the whole podcast.
Yes.
What were you doing, Shannon?
It was his drum plastic. He had to dispose of it. I ran into him at a coffee shop a couple days ago. It was like one of those weird things where I was using my phone and I didn't see him come in, and the next thing I knew, like he was in line a little behind me. And it was like awkward, like, oh hey, oh there he is.
Good old
he
healthy
is.
Shannon.
Shannon.
Yeah, that's him in Breaking Bad. I mean, that's him at HEB.
Man, there was so like right now, we're obviously we tape this. If you're watching this live, we tape this Mondays. The big election tomorrow. Everyone's been talking about it nonstop.
As they should.
For weeks and maybe months now. Everyone's been saying vote. Don't forget, there's early voting. You can, if you miss early voting, you can vote on Tuesday.
Some states you could register the day of voting.
I think I saw in Montana you can register day of.
California.
So like the messaging's definitely been out there, and over the weekend, I saw someone. The Austin subreddit is snarky. No, mean.
just
The
like-
Austin subreddit's mean.
It's intimidating.
And
It's like Austin.
Where in Reddit are people not mean?
Someone-
I'd like to visit there.
someone made a post on the
Are
Austin
all.
subreddit over the weekend that said, "Hey, I'm going to be out of town on Tuesday. I was wondering, can I vote in another town in Texas, even though I'm registered here in Austin?"
Oh, man.
No, you
People
can't.
had a
Sorry.
fucking field day in that thread. It was just people berating him for not having voted for the past 2 weeks.
Why post it in the subreddit? Like, that's just not going to end well no matter what. That's like posting it like in something like Yahoo Answers or something. Even worse. Reddit's even worse.
People were just like calling him names. I was like, man, this poor guy just wanted to vote.
Just trying to vote. Like, yes, he probably should have done early voting.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
explain.
So no, you can't. You have to vote in your home district on election day, at least in Texas. I don't know about other states. There were 2 weeks to get it done.
I felt bad this morning because we had our all hands meeting and we were asking everyone if people have voted, and like most of the company put their hands up, which was awesome to see. And I was just like sitting there with my hand down because I can't vote in the U.S. because I'm not a citizen.
It'll be a lot worse if you put your hand up.
Yeah, yeah. So part of me was like, does anybody need a ride on Tuesday? Because I want to contribute to this somehow. So if anybody here needs a ride
There you
to
go.
the polls on Tuesday, let me know. I want to help.
Yeah, but it's so yeah. By the time you're watching this on YouTube, the election results will already
We'll
be
have
out.
a new president.
Yes, that's the way it works.
It's very exciting. We'll have a new president tomorrow. That's really cool.
Tomorrow. Oh yes. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'll be glad. Like I'm getting so many phone calls and so many texts from different like political groups. Like,
Oh my God.
support this group, support that group. So then I got right before we started, I got a text from a phone number. So I'm just going to read the text I got. Choose Republican judges who are highly qualified, respected, and have the right experience. Vote blank, 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 and blank for the Third Court of Appeals. And there's a Vimeo link attached in the SMS message.
What?
And I was like, oh, a Vimeo link. I'm going to look this up. So presumably they spam this to like every phone number that they have in their database. Who knows how the fuck they got my phone number, right? I was pissed about that. I think I just replied unsubscribe. So I decided, I was like, I'm going to look. So I looked at the Vimeo link. It was uploaded 3 days ago and it has 36 views.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
It's like, man, no. I guess 36 people actually clicked on it and watched it.
Did you make
Yeah.
it 37?
I probably did.
What was the video?
Oh, it's just like a commercial for
Oh,
the
okay.
judges
It's a cat
that they
video.
mentioned. Yeah. And,
That would make me watch
in that
it.
SMS message. But it's just been nonstop. My phone's been ringing from like both sides. It's not like one side more than
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
everybody's
both sides
bad.
are just like badgering my phones nonstop. Trying to get me to go out and vote. I already did it. I wish I could say like, I already voted. It's done.
So I did. I replied. I was like, I already voted. Now I'm getting ones that are like, help us canvass for this politician that you voted for.
Mm-hmm.
Get out on the streets. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I've had some that are like, vote for so-and-so. I'll just reply like, I don't live in that district,
Oh.
and I hope your candidate loses.
Your outgoing message would be like, yeah, you've reached Gus Rolla. I'm not here. Leave a message. By the way, I've already voted.
Already voted.
So fuck
go,
off.
Go away. I'm done. Bother me next year.
No, but I do agree that people should still relay the message to vote and to register to vote and go vote and stuff. Even if you're reading it and you've already voted or you've already done that, I think it's still important to spread that awareness because the more you remind people, the more it becomes
Yeah.
something that people.
Mariel's been
No, you're
doing a
doing-
great job. of it.
Meryl and Jack especially too.
Wait. When did you leave Canada?
I left Canada in 2011.
How old were you?
22
Okay, so you had voted then in Canada.
in Canada.
Okay, I was
So
wondering if you
they're
had,
worth like 0.8 American
But
votes.
also now I can't vote in Canada anymore because I'm a non-resident.
so you can't vote anywhere.
Right.
You
Limbo.
don't matter.
It sucks.
your opinion doesn't
What
matter.
does it take to... I guess you have to be a citizen. You'd have to have gone through the process to be a
Yeah.
citizen to vote in the United States.
Yep.
Yeah. Which I don't know if I'll ever do or not. Depends on where my life takes me in the next couple of years and how I feel about the situation. Because I don't know what happens with my Canadian citizenship if I become an American citizen. I don't know.
Yeah. My neighbors and friends recently became full-blown citizens. They're English. They were green card holders for a really long time and finally became citizens so they could vote in the last election. And I'm pretty sure they're still English citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just
think
But
that
that's
varies,
England.
that varies country by country,
Yeah.
though, I think.
yeah, like I know some, I don't know if it's true or not, but some countries make you choose if you are like become
Yeah.
dual citizen, make you choose.
Yeah, like I think Mexico does not allow... I could be wrong. Please chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Mexico does not allow dual citizenship. I think you have to choose.
And I think same with the Philippines. I think my mother-in-law had to choose when she was 18.
Yeah.
Like,
I would have loved to maintain my ability to vote in Canada, but in order, when I moved to the U.S., if I stayed a resident of Canada, I would have to pay taxes in Canada on my U.S. income as well as U.S. taxes on my
Whoa.
U.S. income.
dang.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and become a non-resident because
That'd have been very
Yeah,
bad.
that's a lot.
a lot of money.
Double taxes.
That's my nightmare.
Go.
Oh, I'm gonna read something here.
Okay, you read something.
I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by 23andMe. 23andMe is a personal genetic service that helps you understand what your DNA can tell you about you and your family story. With 23andMe's Ancestry Composition Report, you can explore where your DNA is from out of 150 plus regions worldwide. You can discover the origins of your maternal and paternal ancestors and how they moved around the world over thousands of years. You can trace parts of your ancestry to a specific group of individuals from 1,000 plus years ago. With 23andMe, you can also get an overview of the diverse group of people who share your DNA, find other 23andMe customers who share your DNA and ancestors, explore matches that range from close family to distant relatives, and make new connections. With their Share and Compare tool, you can explore genetic similarities and differences between you and your relatives, share reports with family and friends. Now through Thanksgiving, 23andMe Ancestry Service Kits are only $49 per kit when you buy 2 or more kits. That's 50% off the regular price of $99 this holiday. Yeah, why not? It's a great gift, right? Order your 23andMe Ancestry Service Kit at 23andme.com/rooster. That's the number 23andme.com/rooster. Super great service. You know, we've talked about it for years, even before they were a sponsor of this podcast. I knew they were a sponsor tonight, so I pulled my my report back up just to look at it again. And I am 45.3% East Asian and Native American, 41.1% European, and 6.6% Sub-Saharan African. I'm global.
You're
Wow.
you're a lot.
So I was looking at mine earlier today too, coincidentally.
Just because you do that every once in a while.
Yeah, I
have
like to
the-
remember how white and boring I am. No, like I'm like 98% European, but I am Sub-Saharan African and Native American in there too, which I kind of like. My family's from the Canary Islands originally, but like way back. But what's really cool, you don't have this, and like your children won't do it, but mother to daughter, you pass along the maternal haplogroup, and mine remains unchanged from the time in Africa. So my maternal haplogroup is something that's like only found in West Africa.
Right.
Wow.
Pretty crazy, even though I'm like super European.
You probably, other than I'm 99.9% European, which is probably similar to you, but 98.7 of that is Ashkenazi Jewish.
Oh, I have some of that.
God,
you
you are
really?
super
Yeah,
Jewish.
Where is that?
I am very
Ashkenazi. I'm
Eastern European.
2.4%.
Wow,
So you're the
brother.
you're the remaining percent of her Jewishness.
Yes.
Yeah.
man,
You stole it.
Yeah, but the biggest number by far is Native American, 43.1%.
your
Wow.
family got around.
I'm global. I'm a global
Yeah.
citizen. I'm a citizen of the world.
Sorollas were sluts. Just
I've
slept all around.
slept our way around the
Yes.
world.
And you cover that a lot in your documentary of how slutty your family was, right?
It was like it's this whole weird like subgenre we talk about. But no, it was really cool that documentary's out now. I feel like it's been pretty well received so far. I just opened up. I thought I'd close my chat and I just reopened it in a different tab. Documentaries. I thought it was received really well. Seems like people really like it. There it is. It's free. You don't have to be a first member. You can watch it through November 8th.
Share it with
at
your friends.
roosterteeth.com. Share it with your friends. I think it turned out pretty well. It was so when we undertook the documentary, it's like we had this one idea of how the narrative was going to go, and then as we filmed, like we kind of changed direction a bit. You know, when we first started, it was definitely a lot more broad in scope and talking about the issue in general. And I guess just like as stories kept coming up, it's like, oh, let's focus more and more on my individual story, which is why we had like that separate vignette with like a bunch of different Rooster Teeth employees who were immigrants or who also came from families who came from overseas. And we didn't want to like not use that footage. Like people sat down for interviews, so that's why we put out that little short vignette.
I think the vignette's really nice because you could see how many people, even just at Rooster Teeth alone, have come from different countries or are families of people from different countries.
Yeah.
And just like how it's kind of a very important part of America's composition and like just the workforce and creative minds and everything like that. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, but it was a great experience to film that, and we traveled a lot. I passed through your old hometown at one point when we were driving around through the border. Because you grew up like 50 miles from the border or so. 40 or 50 miles.
Like 40. I took a summer class in Eagle Pass one summer, and I drove to Eagle Pass every morning, and I got it to where I can make it in 30 minutes.
It's 42 miles, I think.
Damn.
Oh.
You're done fast.
Girl moving fast. So you have a documentary essentially about an aspect of your life. So the next step is to get a biopic made about you. So who's going to play you in your biopic?
Is it biopic or
Javier
biopic?
Bardem.
Edward James Olmos.
Definitely
Say
thought it was-
Edward James Olmos.
Yes.
Who would play you in a movie?
Keanu Reeves. Yeah,
That's a good one.
that just would.
Is that just wishful thinking?
It would just ensure that if they had needed me on set to like help with the movie, I'd get to meet Keanu Reeves, which is essentially life goals at this point.
Yeah. That's a
He's
good one.
perfect.
I would have said Johnny Depp for you.
No, yuck. Fuck him.
Why?
Maybe Skeet Ulrich. Give his career.
I'm down with
You know,
now
Rich, that's
good.
perfect.
I want him. Make it happen.
Gus would be one of the Hemsworth, obviously.
What if we went the Mr. Megorium's Wonder Important? No. Yes. What was the one that Heath Ledger did and he died in?
That one. Yeah.
Okay, that one. What's the one with where the guy owned the toy store that was magical?
Toys.
Something Imaginarium.
Toy Story.
Yeah, it's a Terry
Dr.
Gilliam.
Parsanium Imaginarium.
It's close. But they since
Fantastic
Keith
Beasts is where I find
died
them.
while making that, multiple people played his characters, so we could have Skeet for part of my biopic, and then we do Keanu, and then Kate Winslet will do the end part.
There you go. I like that. Yeah.
What about you two? Who do you want playing you in your biopic?
Mine's the same mentality as John's of just like I would choose them so I would get to meet them. Margot Robbie or Blake Lively.
That's pretty
Because
good.
I have major girl crushes on them. And they're blonde, so, you know,
There you go.
they could be me.
I don't know. I don't know what celebrities I want to like hang out with.
Is that the game that I've made now? Your biopic is just
Except
finding
Chrissy
celebrities?
Teigen. I learned that's how it's pronounced.
Chrissy-
Yeah,
Oh,
but
it's
she
not
even
Teigen?
says that she says
Yeah.
it wrong.
Yeah, apparently it's Teigen. She like made a tweet about it and blew the internet's
Oh
mind.
my God.
But
you
that
see
would be
that-
weird if she played me. No resemblance at all.
Ariana Grande is said wrong too. It's Grandy.
Grandy?
What?
She said it in an interview.
Grandy?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that. It was like a
Grandy?
radio interview. I was like, no, I'm not going to say that.
It's like Rosie Perez. No, it's not.
Did you guys hear Ariana Grande's new song?
No.
Thank You Next?
No.
Oh, it was
I listened to the same music I
It's a-
listened to as in high school.
it's a very good competitor for Mambo Number 5, let me tell you
Oh
that.
no.
I hated Mambo number 5.
No, it was just, it's a joke because she names a bunch of guys who she used to date.
Gotcha.
I was not in on that joke.
Yeah.
I'm not up on the Ariana Grande.
I can't even hear you say it. now.
Grandy.
Grandy.
It sounds like someone saying like Pokemans or like.
I met someone at a convention recently who legitimately said Pokemans. They're just like, yeah, there's a bunch of kids out here who are looking for Pokemans. I'm not really a fan of Pokemans, but Pikachu's pretty cute. I had a cousin who watched Pokemans growing up. Like,
I think that's intentional at that
I
point.
don't know. This guy was just saying it over and over in a way where this is just how he said it.
What if he just did it to get attention?
It was just me and him
And
talking.
he wants attention.
Yeah,
from
he wants
you.
attention.
He wants attention from you. Just speaking of Pokemans, this is a good community day this weekend, so I look forward to seeing you guys all out there getting your Cyndaquils.
We're going to
No.
be here at Extra
Cyndaquils?
Life.
Really?
Huh?
I need lots of dams.
I don't have to be here for all of Extra Life. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna go do my Pokemoning, and then I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna do Who Spot. It actually happens a little bit during the event, but I'll make it work.
Okay. I'm glad you guys are bringing back Who Spot. That was
Yeah,
like
we're
one of
gonna
my
do-
favorite segments last
We're
year.
gonna do Who Spot, which even today in the office, while Jack was bringing that up, he perpetuated the joke that I don't like Who Spots anywhere on the spot. Like he's like called it out and he's like, "Yes, John, you have to do it." It's like, I like doing it. It's fun. I get to laugh the entire time.
Then why are you so sad all the
I
time?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
What Pokemon would play you in your biopic?
The Pokemon that would play me in my biopic is actually
Ponyta.
Professor. Is it Eucalyptus? There's a professor that looks a lot like me. He's got like long hair and he's like slender.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Professor-
Stop comparing. I hate
Professor
him.
Oak?
It's not Oak. Oak is name another one.
No.
Professor Maple.
That's all I get.
They're all tree names.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
said Professor Maple as a joke, but is that a real one?
I don't think there's a
Professor Pine.
Maple. I don't know.
Professor Rubber.
Elm.
Rubber? Oh
Rubber
yeah,
tree.
rubber's a tree.
Ash.
Professor Cork.
Christmas.
The Pokemon that would I want Ditto would play me because then he just be whoever we want. Professor Christmas?
It's a type of tree.
I like that. It was a very festive Pokemon game.
I want to meet Professor Christmas.
Okay, so this is really silly, and I really want the internet to help me with this. A new Pokemon game is coming out on the Switch. Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee and Pikachu.
Pokemans.
Pokemon.
Pokemans.
It comes out on like the 16th. Let's just say it's around the 15th or 16th. Today is the 5th. We're 10 days away from this release. And there's a Switch bundle that's like a special edition Pokemon Switch that you can get a Pikachu one or an Eevee one. It hasn't been out on pre-sale yet. It's not even you can't order it anywhere. Like it was out for 2 seconds and then it went away and it hasn't been out for like that's not normal, right, Gus? My Game Boy?
Huh. I would say no, but it's Nintendo. They kind of do whatever the fuck they
just
want.
play by their own rules. The
Yeah.
games you can pre-order the game.
Yeah, I think
But I-
fuck you. You're gonna buy it anyway.
Is that the one that syncs with Pokemon Go on your phone?
Yeah, and you have to do a trade to get like a special Pokemon in Pokemon Go called Meltan. That's my end of my Pokemon segment. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys coming to Pokemon Corner with John Rice.
I'm looking at a Pokemon.
Now back to your regular scheduled
Let's
program.
Do we have the
go.
graphic ready?
No, that can't be a thing because I already do it too much on Glitch Please, and I'm sure people hate it. So I'm gonna stop talking about Pokemon now.
You're right, I don't even see it on Amazon.
Yeah, it's there, and you can sign up to be notified when it's available. But I just think we're cutting it really close, and I really like to have that.
It's crazy how that game Pokemon Go it became a huge thing, and then it kind of dwindled down for a while, and then it came back like full force. Yeah, we did that the thing where we went into the parking lot next door. That was like 2.5 years.
That was
ago?
when it first came out. It came out right like in early July 2 years ago.
Yeah,
it was so long ago that parking lot doesn't exist anymore. It's a house.
Do you know what's funny?
That's true.
Is the gym is still there? That was the drive-in theater, and it's still
an apartment complex.
So you got to go. Yeah, it's like a big. They're not done with it yet. It's a giant building. Mm-hmm. I guess it's gonna be apartments.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like super crazy and everything like that, and then people got tired of it, and then their team did a really good job of like creating all these community things and these special events that re-instilled people wanting to play the game.
Yeah.
And also things like coming out with the next gens of stuff and a whole new set of Pokemon for you to get. And if you're that kind of person that's all about the collecting aspect of it, it's gonna pick at you.
Someone in chat, Uria, sorry, I don't know how to say your name, says, John, go to GameStop and you can pre-order in the store.
So I have to go in the store. I was just
how analog
this weekend. Why didn't I look in? I actually walked into a GameStop to see if they had like, I don't know. I thought they might have like a spot on the shelves that said pre-ordered.
I don't know. I'm going by.
I probably could have easily gone to. I was at
call one and ask them before you go.
I was at the mall this weekend and there was a Santa there for photos. There wasn't.
So wait, it was already November at least.
Yes.
Christmas.
I saw a big old Christmas tree. And I was like, well, that's a bit much
That's
already.
how you know it's the Barbara Christmas alarm.
Yeah, I remember that song from Nightmare Before Christmas. She looks like something from Nightmare Before Christmas with the stripes.
Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
That's a debate.
Both.
Christmas.
I was at home yesterday and they had an inflatable Jack Skellington dressed as Santa as a Christmas decoration.
Can we make a poll?
Oh, poll?
Yeah.
We have the ability to do a poll. Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie or Halloween
Before
movie?
it gets asked, then I want to know everybody's answer.
I said Christmas.
Christmas?
What? The movie?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Halloween.
I'm going to say Christmas because in my mind, it focuses more on Christmas.
It's a Christmas movie because the movie starts on Halloween, but then the rest of the movie is all about leading up to Christmas.
But I also don't want our answers to affect your answers.
I don't think my opinion has ever affected anybody's opinion on the internet ever.
It's affected mine.
Wes says make that an option. What do you mean, Wes? I don't understand.
What?
Both. Eric, Wes
We
wants
can't make both.
Decision.
You have to pick. Yeah.
We want divisiveness.
Wes, shush.
You're going to feel strongly in one way or the other.
We're pitting all Americans against each other, head-to-head combat. So if you're watching live with Rooster Teeth first, you go to roosterteeth.com/play. We're, of course, live on Monday night. If you're watching this on YouTube, you don't understand anything I said, so you don't get to participate. What does it say? What kind of movie is Nightmare Before Christmas?
I'm going to go vote.
Or Christmas.
Because I can vote in this.
Anybody can vote in this. I see you two are getting your phones out. You really are going to go vote.
I'm going to vote.
I've never voted in one of these.
I'm able to.
Question.
I'm exercising my right.
Is it that bad there was a Santa?
What?
Is it that bad there was a Santa at the mall?
It's a little early, but I guess it's okay. Like Thanksgiving's early this year. It's, the 22nd of November.
And I was at the mall on November 4th.
It's pretty early.
That's pretty early. He was a good Santa. He was like Miracle 34th Street level Santa.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was pissed off about my Santa experience last year at the mall.
Please let this be an experience that you didn't have your kid with you at all.
I wish.
Why? What happened?
Wait,
they
how
only
many
had
kids you got? 2?
I have 2 now.
When did you have the second?
In May.
Okay, so this is
She's
pre
new.
2 kids.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was pregnant, which probably contributed to my irritation.
Nah,
but
women don't change at all when they're pregnant.
no, I was
her
a
is uncomfortable.
pleasant person all the time. There was only one person working the register, and there were probably 100 people in line waiting to check out after having their picture taken.
This is after saying to get the photo.
Right. You can make an appointment to get your photo taken.
Where'd you go?
So that was seamless. Barton Creek Mall.
Okay.
And so, yeah, dude, you gotta go to the mall Santa.
That's where I was.
Yeah.
It's good looking Santa.
It's a nice mall.
By the way, the poll's very
The one you're probably talking about, he has like one super dilated pupil. He's like David Bowie.
Oh, I saw him from far away. I didn't approach Santa.
But it's cool.
closely.
Like you zoom in and it's like, but so we made the appointment and the photo taking was seamless. But then to get the actual photo, you had to wait in line, and they changed up the company that handles it last year. where they didn't offer a digital only package.
Ooh.
You had to buy a package, and it was like $50 with like billfold wallet prints and all this shit you don't
They
need.
learned.
And then it was an additional like $20 to get the digital file
So
on top of
on
that.
top of the package,
On top of the package.
you had to add digital.
And I waited in line for an hour to learn that.
Did you buy it?
Of course I did. I'm a fucking sucker.
Yep.
And the picture sucked too. So
I feel like you could just go up to the mall
Thanks,
Santa
Sarah, for
after his
promoting.
shift, give him $20, be like, "Hey, meet me around back. I have a chair. I'll take this
There
on
you
my
go.
camera.
This sounds kinky.
yeah.
I have a
Meet
chair.
me around back.
Leave the costume
I've got a
on
camera and a chair.
and a child."
It's like, you ever see Bad Santa?
No.
No.
I hear that's a really funny movie.
It's pretty funny.
I never
Yeah.
took it seriously because it looked bad, but
It's pretty
Maybe I should
good, but there's a funny scene where like someone does something similar and they're like, basically Billy Bob Thornton is like a mall Santa and he hooks up with this woman and she's just like the whole time she's like, fuck me Santa, fuck me Santa.
Well, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's,
I had my kids with me at the mall, and they saw Santa, and even like the youngest one's reaction was like, "It's really early. What's he doing here?"
yeah, like the Trail of Lights doesn't even open up until after Thanksgiving.
Well, most like Christmas, like I know
I hate the Trail of Lights.
I know
Yeah.
we start early with the Christmas stuff. Why do you hate the
Trail of Lights is
I used
so
to
overrated.
hate it, but
It's so
now,
overrated.
but now I get like all the warm fuzzies. It's very family. It's different when you're like,
It's nice for the-
Explain how it's overrated.
Well, explain what it is for the people who are not in Austin.
It's a trail of lights.
You walk through it and it's a commercial for local businesses and their shitty Christmas lights.
It's
and
all
they're
over it.
yeah.
highly bootleg Disney IP.
This
Yeah.
sounds like someone who would be very good at playing Scrooge. You.
But there are other things. There's hot chocolate. There's ice skating. There's a really cool tree. There's kettle corn, which is why
I haven't been
go.
since they started charging.
It's better.
Okay, I went
And you
years
can-
ago when it was still free.
You can pay a little more and get like reserved parking and
you can get like
fast pass line.
shuttles,
Bill Gates
like that.
experience.
I also
No,
just-
you can do that too, or like you get the backstage pass. And but
Backstage
it's like,
to what? See the backside of lights?
you get to see where they plug them in.
I don't know. You get your own like VIP area.
I don't know what the whole experience trail lights is to walk through this light experience. What's
If you pay enough, someone will give you a piggyback ride. You don't even have to walk.
I feel
I wanna do that.
I'm noticing a trend here where the people who don't like the Trail of Lights or feel it's overrated are me and Gus, and you two, John and Becca,
Let's
do like
fight.
him. You guys have kids.
Right. I was 100% with you guys before I had kids.
Okay.
I never went. I was always like, fuck this place. It's a waste of time. Look at that line of cars.
And then
no.
with kids, you're like, an activity.
Yeah.
No, there is
exactly.
nothing about my love of Christmas activities that has anything to do with my
Holy
fucking kids.
shit.
Christmas activities are different than the
So
Trail
I'm
of
looking
Lights.
up the Trail of Lights, which again, shitty experience. Don't ever go.
Yeah, don't go. Don't go.
They
I don't
have
want lines.
platinum tickets.
That's it.
The prices are $80 a person, or you can buy a 4-pack for $260.
It's literally you're
What's it
looking at
come with?
lights.
You comes with valet parking for one vehicle,
Okay.
platinum concierge planning before, and our platinum team to guide you at the event. It's a fucking trail. Access to the park at 6 p.m. through a private dedicated entry.
That's right. It's like early access.
Golf cart shuttle
There.
access to platinum lounge and trailhead.
What's the
Access
platinum
to a
lounge?
private heated platinum lounge with comfortable seating and exclusive bar. Come on, y'all put it on the list twice.
Hey, someone
one-
want to send me a VIP package?
One
Yeah.
drink ticket valid at bars throughout the park for platinum pass. One ride pass for exclusive entry to Ferris wheel or carousel.
Oh, yeah. There's like a carnival there.
There's
I forgot
a
about-
Ferris wheel?
There's a
Yeah.
Ferris
And
wheel.
access to Silker Lounge where you'll find cookies,
And a
cocoa,
carousel.
comfortable seating, and heated washrooms. There's
How-
also a
how
Zip
much-
Fast Pass and
That's the
general
one I do.
admission.
The Fast Pass.
How
Zip
much is
Fast
that?
Pass
It's like
is,
$20 a person or something. It's still kind of expensive.
I pay.
Yeah, $20.
how
It's $15 if you go earlier in the month. And then general admission is free half the time, and then the other time it's $3. So you can either go for $3 or free, or you can pay $80.
How much to make it so that no one else is on the trail and I get to enjoy it by myself?
$80.
Yeah.
It
You have
sounds
to
like.
do the early entrance.
But I don't want
you
any
and
of
the other-
VIP
You'll-
people.
you'll
I
be
wanna be
there-
the only VIP
Oh.
person.
You'll be there with the other suckers.
How much to be able to take one of the installations home with me? I get to pick
Peter H says, wow, one whole drink ticket.
one whole
It's a
drink.
$75 beverage.
Just really ration that drink the entire trail, okay?
Here's the thing about the Trail of Lights. It's cool at the start because you are literally in this like tunnel that's full of lights, and that's really cool. And then you get out and you start walking, and it's a trail that like will be like one tiny little light display over here of like Mickey Mouse, and then like another
It's
like 20 feet later, it's just like, oh, it's Darkwing Duck, I think.
it's like Mickey Mouse or like
Mackie
You get
Miss.
mugged on the Trail of Lights. You hate it.
It definitely dwindles.
It's just, I think it was because I was cold. And I was just like,
Oh, you don't
wow,
like
like when
cold.
they said Trail of Lights, I thought it was just going to be like magical. But it was like item,
There's a
20 feet.
There's a
item.
pretty good Trail of Lights down in Buda.
Is that the one you drive through? Santa's Wonderland or whatever?
I don't know if you drive through it. You still walk.
Maybe I'm just assuming you drive through it since there are so many cars backed up to get in it.
But it's not. It's pretty good too.
It's like right on the highway. You can see it from the highway.
No.
Okay, then I'm thinking of something else.
in Buda.
Maybe Kyle.
I know the one in Kyle. That's where I went for the unconventional documentary, another Rooster documentary. If you have Rooster
Stop
first, you
plugging
watch
your
it.
shows, Gus.
Dude, the ducks are awesome.
That's where I met the Santa from Kyle, and I was laughing because he threw candy that hit kid in the face by accident.
That's good.
Yes.
Good times.
Did Bernie ever show this last week? This acorn?
He did.
Oh, he did?
No, it was on social.
What's
He was
special about
obsessed
it?
with that fucking acorn.
He brought it. He's like, I found the perfect acorn.
Look at its little beret.
But it's broken. So it has a hat.
It's got a toupee.
He can tip his hat.
Milady.
Wee wee.
I don't know. I've just been playing with it. I didn't know if Bernie saw it.
I thought that was John's.
Eat it. You
I
get
just assumed-
I was
superpowers.
gonna smash it, but it's actually really dense.
Yeah, it's very dense and very cute. No!
What are you gonna
Gustavo!
Take that.
do? Eric just wants to see stuff die.
How much to eat that?
Eric screamed.
I have
in
to be
delight.
Gavin.
No.
How much? How much?
No, not the hat!
Jesus, that went everywhere.
I was gonna use that as a little beret for something.
A penis.
Well,
You
you
can
were.
find another one. They're everywhere.
That's the first acorn I've ever seen in my life.
You need to go for walks more.
There's everywhere. I couldn't understand what Bernie was freaking out about. It's like, look, it's an acorn. I was like, yeah, there's fucking 50 million of them outside. There's oak trees everywhere.
This is the shine and delight of people who spend all their lives indoors.
Not cooking.
Yeah, not
Look, it's a bird. It's a grackle. I mean, what are you going to get excited about next? It's a bird that wants sugar and is going to scream at you for it.
I love that you just said grackle. That makes me very happy. You've made my day.
Are grackles everywhere? Do they have grackles
No, I
in
think
other
they're
places?
Austin.
Is it like a Central Texas thing? Did you have grackles in San Diego, Eric?
Are
No,
grackles
I'd never seen
everywhere?
grackles until I moved here.
I
They're
also have never
terrifying,
seen
aren't
them.
they?
They're like tiny raptors.
They're awful.
They really are like tiny raptors.
I asked Google if are grackles everywhere, and it just heard me and said tacos everywhere.
Hooray. My
And
favorite.
I don't want to correct it.
One time I was at Chipotle and I dropped a piece of chicken out of my burrito
grackle
and a
took it.
grackle ate it and I
What?
felt very creeped out. It was very cannibalistic.
Did it eat it and go,
Wait, a
Basically.
grackle ate what kind of meat?
a piece of chicken?
They're not
It's his
chicken.
cousin.
Can we eat our cousins?
Would you eat a
Can we
gorilla?
I'd eat it. I wouldn't eat gorilla because they're a delight. But if it was,
They're a delight.
They're a delight.
who would you eat?
Oh, if I
If
could,
you had to choose one person to eat.
Ooh.
that's a good question. If
Who
I
would
was
you eat?
legally allowed to eat anybody I want with no ramifications,
Yeah.
who would be tasty?
Who's like a specimen?
I'm looking around.
Chris Evans.
Oh.
Oh, I was thinking like someone in the room.
Yeah, someone from Rooster
You
Teeth.
gotta dream big, motherfucker. If you're gonna eat someone worthwhile.
I would eat The Rock.
I was going to say the last person I'd want to eat is
Oh,
The Rock.
he'd be tasty.
He'd be all
Yeah.
gristle.
Probably be a little tough. Yeah.
You have to
It's all
tenderize that boy.
gristly.
You just gotta brine
Sinew.
him beforehand.
Yeah.
There you go.
Johnny Depp. Who said that?
No,
Seralphia.
rotten. I need Guy Fieri. He tastes so good.
Oh, he's been
He's got
marinating
so
for a
much
while.
flavor just soaked up in
He
him.
will
And
take
he's
you to
like-
Flavor
He's all
Town.
flame grilled from
Yeah.
his shirt.
Yep.
It tastes like diners, drive-ins, and dives.
When I went to Wyoming.
No, you have to say who you'd eat.
Oh wait. Okay. Hold on.
That's the game we play.
That's the game.
Chrissy. No.
Chris
Well,
DeMille.
I'm gonna say Giselle Bundchen.
Ooh. I feel like she'd be like, there wouldn't be a lot of meat there.
Yeah, but she's like she's got a butt
Yeah, that's true.
and she's like athletic.
Probably be
Yeah.
nice.
Who?
And, nice
What-
and
what-
tasty.
who'd you say?
Giselle Bundchen. the
She's
model?
just like who immediately comes to mind. I think it's
Okay.
because she has nice skin.
Yeah.
Well, that's the best part of the chicken, right?
The question
Like,
is, who
when
would
fry
you wear
chicken?
as a human coat, right?
I already
Yeah.
said it, Chris
Oh.
Evans.
Yeah.
Chris Evans skin. Come on, that'd be great. A little Chris Evans costume.
I'd eat John.
There you go.
You think I'd be tasty?
Yeah.
What'd be the tastiest part of me? Let's play this game.
Your face.
Like the cheeks?
Your
Yeah.
sweet
Wanna
bread.
make some John Barbacoa.
I don't know what it is, but
Is
like,
that what barbacoa is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, it's
Head
cheek?
meat. Yeah.
Oh,
Typically,
then
it's
definitely.
head, but I mean, usually they'll make it cheek for you white people.
Thanmes.
You get freaked out by the
99.9%.
get freaked out by the eyes and the tongue.
I'm 99.9% white. Excuse me. I'm 0.1% not white.
I guess you've never seen them make barbacoa. Then you've never seen that
They
process.
just boil the head.
I'm missing an obvious pun of barbacoa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You asked
Your
me to
mom's
cook
carne
meals for
asada
you,
looked
come
really
down
good.
with
So
eating.
good.
I need it. Yeah.
It's all part of the plan.
She made enough for the whole crew, and
awesome.
yeah, after we were done filming, we all ate it. It was so awesome. Shout out to them, by the way, to everyone involved, the crew,
Shout
Matt
out to
Ames,
the doc
Audrey,
crew.
That crew's awesome.
yeah, everyone else who helped out.
But they worked with us for the Connected doc that we did. I think that was the Let's Play Live one was the first doc, but Connected was the second one. It was the first time we worked with Alpheus, who has been doing
Right, Let's
almost.
Play Live was the first doc.
And they were, I guess, still getting to know Rooster Teeth and like what's okay and what's not okay. And they would like ask us questions. And they're like, is it okay that we're asking you this? It's like, are you kidding? Like, we have no privacy in our personal life whatsoever.
Well, I think the fact that I had done Unconventional with that crew before helped make the process of doing Common Ground even easier. Like I had trust in them, and I knew that it wasn't like a gotcha thing, or they weren't trying to like set me up. So like
They would do a
I
good
had
job.
total faith, and I knew that they understood our vision and they were going to do things the right way.
That's
so
right. You have 2 docs now. What's going to be the trilogy? The Gus trilogy.
I'll have to figure it out. I don't know.
You have to do a
something out of
third.
left field.
We
spitballed some ideas, like because we did a lot of driving for this documentary. Then we were just like spitballing. I remember. Can I say it? Should I say it? There was
Say
one
it.
that I wanted to do.
Oh yeah, you have to say it now.
I wanted to try to discover the origin of like South Texas horror, like La Llorona and the Chupacabra and stories like that. And like not quite Achievement Hunter style, but find out like the folklore behind it and like go through like
go find some-
traditional
I just want to hear
storytelling.
you say those words again. That was awesome because I'm used to hearing you with like this accent, and
Yeah.
whenever you say anything,
So we need to make
in
that-
Spanish, it's like it comes out.
I spoke Spanish, so I've been married, for 12 years now. And I spoke Spanish in front of my in-laws for the first time like 2 months ago, and they had no idea I could speak Spanish, and they were like, "You speak Spanish?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess it's never come up, has
Yeah.
it?"
Yeah.
It's just very impressive to me when people could speak 2 languages perfectly fluently. It's impressive.
So we're gonna make that doc, and then we can get really weird with the prequels to your memes. I mean, to your docs,
To my memes.
To
to your memes. Yeah, we do the Gus prequels. I'm down with that.
You're an
I
adult.
want to do a doc.
I wasn't a doc.
Where Mariel and I go to work on our family's farms because that would be just a disaster.
Mariel on a farm would be a disaster. Yes,
Does your family still
she's
has
a very city
Mm-hmm.
mouse.
Is it onions?
Onions and cantaloupes.
Because I remember you would bring some for everybody. Like
The
show up with a.
cantaloupes?
Oh, I want cantaloupes.
Yeah.
Bring me cantaloupes.
I want an onion.
I can bring you some starting in like May.
Okay,
June.
cool. I'll wait for me.
Okay.
I like cantaloupes. Cantaloupes are good for you.
There.
If you eat my food, you might eat some cantaloupes.
You and I could get married, but we can't elope.
I don't like that joke at all. It's a pun, and puns are stupid.
Puns are great.
Puns are like the smartest form of humor.
Oh,
Thank
that's what
you.
someone who just
guys
has
are on
puns
my
would
team.
say. Who doesn't know that they're not the smartest form of humor?
You have to really think hard about them. And
You have to
You
really
make
think hard.
connections.
You have to really think hard to make a bad joke.
You got to know word association, make connections, be quick-witted. There's a lot involved.
I will say, actually, I'll say what I would recognize as talented is people who are able to make puns
Period.
through translation. So if there's
like
a,
pescato.
I was very happy with that tweet,
That was
by
very
the way.
good. Very good.
I don't know what that tweet is, but I'm sure it was great.
Gus tweeted that catfish from here on out are known as
Pescato.
pescatos.
In Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
Pescado is fish and
Yeah,
gato is cat.
pescados, yeah.
So,
So, point of
a little
clarity.
portmanteau there.
Esther came up with that one. I was just the messenger.
Oh.
I was the tweeter
Wow.
on that one. I asked her for permission. I was like, "Can I tweet that?" And then I showed her, and then she said it was okay.
But that's like a job people have to do when they're translating scripts of movies and stuff or doing dubs is they have to localize the jokes and humor and even like the phrasing we say. Which then brings me back around to Pokemon where people have to make the Pokemon English names based off of the Japanese ones and that seems like a fun job.
Side note: we also call socks, which in Spanish are calcetines.
Calcetines?
We call them socatines, like a bastardized Spanglish version.
I can't do that in my house. We're too white.
I don't know. I don't know different languages enough to make puns in different
You're
languages.
pretty good with French. You can hold your own.
Oui.
I know 0 French, so anything you say, I'm like, ooh,
That meant
ooh la la.
I don't know any other languages.
You don't know any other language? You never wanted to learn?
Yeah, I did. I took 2.5 years of French in high school, and then I forgot it all.
I took
You should learn something new.
like 6 years of Spanish.
You should know.
Jesus.
You should know Spanish by virtue of where you grew
Well, I know
up.
Spanish. Like, I don't speak it that often. I used to, and I used to be pretty fluent. I can understand it really well. Speaking it, not so much.
You can understand enough to get the fun jokes that Gus
Hola.
tweets out.
Yeah.
¿Cómo estás?
There you go.
What would you say to that?
Bien.
Bien.
¿Y tú?
Et tu? It's very similar
would go,
to French.
Well, they're
Yeah.
Latin based.
Yep.
Yeah, because French is bonjour.
They're love
comment ça va?
languages.
Ça va bien? Et toi?
Et toi or et tu?
Did you know that Romanian, I think it's Romanian, is another Latin-based language, and it sounds a lot like Spanish.
Romanian sounds like
Isn't
Spanish.
that weird? Yeah.
There was when we were doing the doc, this got cut and we didn't get to include it, but in Guatemala, there are still 21 different Mayan languages that are spoke. And there are some people in Guatemala who don't speak Spanish. They only speak Mayan language. So sometimes some of the immigrants who come through, like at that bus station in McAllen I was at, don't speak Spanish. They only speak like a Mayan language and no one knows how to help them.
Oh,
Whoa.
man.
And so I went down like a rabbit hole, like when I found that out and I was in McAllen. So I started watching YouTube videos of people speaking. And the most popular one is a language called Quiche. And it's like 1 million people in Guatemala still speak Quiche.
1 million. Wow.
And it's like, it's crazy to listen to it. It's like, oh, that's like a super old language. That
Yeah, we have like no foundation of any of the
Doesn't
etymology at all.
follow
Yeah.
any of the same patterns or rhymes.
It's
of,
so bizarre. It sounds almost like vaguely Eastern European, which is what made me think about it when you said Romanian. It's just wild to think about.
What do you think, other than English, is the most, I guess, useful language to know
Spanish.
Or
Spanish.
Chinese.
in the world?
Probably Chinese,
Spanish.
too.
There's a lot of people who speak Chinese.
Mandarin.
I think Chinese is the most spoken
Mandarin.
language, and I think Spanish is the
Is it
second
Mandarin or
most spoken
Cantonese?
language.
Mandarin.
Mandarin's more common than Cantonese. right?
Cantonese?
Yeah.
Most common language in the world.
It's just that's
English,
just your
Beyond
English gets you
population.
around, yeah.
Yeah.
But see, is it,
So
would it-
Mandarin, Chinese, English, Hindustani, Spanish, Arabic, the top 5.
Wow.
now that would just get that's based off of just population, right?
I don't know.
I wonder if what would be the most like useful one for all the different places in the world that speak it. Because there's like you go to China and yeah, you could speak, to a lot of people around there, but then you get out of there and where else is Mandarin spoken
Most spoken language in the world.
geographically?
It's
I mean-
pretty much the same.
As an English speaker, I've always been pretty okay with English.
Yeah.
Everywhere I've traveled.
I wonder
Well,
if
I
that's the one
imagine-
that's more commonly spoken
But I imagine
geographically.
a lot of places you go would be like tourist kind of places. Like
I
places
don't
a
know.
lot of tourists would go.
Some of it, yeah, but we also like road trip through Eastern Europe. So ended up in some weird places.
I have a question.
Yes.
And then you reminded me of a question I had.
Yes, John.
Are there any trains that leave out of Austin that go anywhere?
Yes. There's an Amtrak station at like 6th and Lamar.
I think it goes to Chicago,
Really?
A train to
I want to go on a train.
but I think it takes a long time.
I want
and
to
it's
go.
expensive.
I want to go. Where? How far could I go? Like in like a couple days?
Like round trip, just there and back.
Sure, like a weekend on a train.
Oh, I don't know. No.
I think you would spend the whole weekend on the train.
yeah.
I'm fine with that. Could I do that?
Yeah, get a sleeper car.
I never
I
done a
love-
sleeper car.
I
I
love
like
the
trains.
trains.
We used to go on trains in California because there's one that goes up the coast and it goes all the way up. And I've taken it to visit like family and just go on trips. And I love it. And that's pretty because that's along the beach. But I like trains.
Train is absolutely my favorite mode of
You want
transportation.
to go on a train ride?
Yeah.
Let's go on a weekend train trip.
Okay.
Y'all should, if you can, y'all should go to like New Orleans.
Oh,
Does the train
on
go
the
to New
train?
Orleans?
I don't know. I rode a train when I was in New Orleans when I was little, so I don't know if it's like part of the same circuit, but
Because New Orleans isn't that far. It's like what, 6
yeah, it's
hour
like
drive?
an 8. Well,
Eight,
yeah,
right?
like 7, 8.
Okay.
Chicago to San Antonio, 32 hours, 25 minutes.
Ooh.
So is it out of San Antonio or out of here?
Looks like it's out of San Antonio.
But
But
that's
I
also-
think they stop here on the way.
The reason it's so long, especially, is because of all the stops.
That's fine. Someone figure out how far I can go in like a day.
Chicago to Los Angeles, 65 hours and 20 minutes.
There was a train that would go from California, like Los Angeles to the Grand Canyon. I never did that train. I regret it
Oh, that would be cool.
because I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I've been to Arizona like dozens of times. Never been to the Grand Canyon.
I used to take the train from Ottawa to Toronto all the time for RBBTO, the fan event in Toronto. And that was like the most fun. It was the perfect amount of time, like 4.5 hours. You get some food. You're in this comfortable car. There's outlets and everything. Lots of space.
I love trains.
It's just so relaxing.
Trains are fantastic.
And so non-stressful whatsoever.
Yeah. There was a train that would go from where I lived in California into like Los Angeles. And it wasn't the most like price savvy kind of thing. It's just easier to drive in. But sometimes I do it just because it was nice. It was like, get to go on a train.
I believe that there's a company trying to establish a Houston to Dallas train line. And then from there, expand it to be like Dallas to Austin and San Antonio.
That'd be cool.
To like kind of connect them. I came to the realization the other day that even if they move forward, I'll be dead before those trains
No.
come out. Like that, I will not be alive to see those trains go.
You don't know that.
No, Gus
How
is gonna
long do you
live
think
forever.
it will take
Gus
to
gonna
get
live
all that
forever.
shit done?
Yeah, but maybe there'll be some advancements in medicine.
healthcare, and I'll get to live to be 140 years old.
Yeah. Wouldn't you want that?
Maybe they'll tunnel it. Maybe the Boring Company will make a tunnel.
Maybe they will.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on a train.
Get on a train.
I'm gonna go on a train.
Let's get John on a train. Forget Children's Miracle Network. Extra Life all about putting John on a train.
Have you been to
Yeah.
Japan, John?
Have I been to Japan?
Yes.
No.
I have not either.
That was my favorite train experience.
I would imagine that'd be pretty
That
fantastic.
was very cool.
The
and their
bullet train?
train, yes, and their train stations are like amazing.
I think that's gonna be a 2019 goal of mine is go to Japan.
Yeah.
Because I did a pretty good amount of traveling in 2018, and I've gone. I'd never broken the continent. That's not how you say that, but let's go with that. I'd never left the continent until I met Riot, and I went and visited her in London. That was the first time I'd ever gone overseas.
When you went to go visit her, that was the
That was
first
the
time.
first time because I just haven't traveled very much, and I haven't had very many opportunities for it, and because I just made different life choices that didn't offer that. But now I'm in a position where I can, if I really want to, and if I like set a goal and like save up the money for it and that kind of thing. And so I was able to do that, and I've now done Australia because of RTX Sydney, and I did France this last RTX London, but Japan is like way up there, and I really want to go, and all my fucking friends keep going, and I hate it, and I have to like, let's go to Japan. Okay, we're gonna go on a okay. So
That should be your train. Your
Yeah.
weekend
no, we're gonna
train
do a
trip.
train ride
Hey,
first.
Eric, let's do a remote podcast from Japan. You'll pay for it all.
Does that mean the podcast will pay for it?
Yeah,
You know what?
Yeah, okay.
I've worked at Rooster Teeth officially for almost 3 years, and I haven't traveled once for this company.
Girl,
Not
it took me
once.
5 years before I got travel for the company.
I used to travel for the company all the time.
Yeah,
Used
you went
go
to
conventions
MegaCon.
everywhere. Yeah.
I figured out that okay, so I'm on the podcast because Bernie's on a boat. Therefore, longer Bernie's on the boat, I could be on the podcast. So if I make Bernie stay on the boat, I can go on the Japan podcast. Got it. Just wanted to make sure that's how
we'll
it
put him
works.
on a boat to Japan, and we'll put you on a plane to Japan.
I want to go on a boat to Japan. That'd be pretty
I
cool.
don't think
Call
there's
it
any
the
boats to
Japan
Japan, dude.
cast.
Not yet.
You are acting like Bernie. What is it? That seat over there that makes people stupid?
Oh no! Get me off the seat. No. So we're gonna go on a train, you and me, Barbara, and then we're gonna go to Japan.
Yeah, and you can wear your shirt that says butt slut.
It says Mickey Mouse.
Mackie Miss.
I literally was buying this.
The Trail of Life's favorite character.
I bought this and then was I was standing in the changing room, downloading the translation on my phone so that I could hold like Google Translate over it just to make sure this didn't say something like he beats trees, something like that.
What does it say?
It says Mickey Mouse. It says Mickey Mouse.
That's a nice one. Where is that from?
It's from Forever 21.
Okay, I was gonna ask. It's very much theirs. They have some good stuff there.
Did Tony like it? I bet Tony.
So I literally texted Tony after I bought it and said, I bought a Mickey Mouse sweater and I'm gonna wear it for you tomorrow. And that's how two dads text each other. Tony, for those who don't know, is the head of our merch design and also
The
maybe
biggest Disney file.
Disney and Mickey Mouse fanatic ever.
Yeah.
Even today, he's wearing a Mickey Mouse sweater. Had to do
And-
that. Couldn't just let me have the Mickey day.
He also has like more shoes, right, than anybody I know.
Than an
Yeah,
entire
he-
classroom of high school girls.
He collects different types of sneakers, especially.
He's a big collector.
Yeah,
Of
big
like
collector.
clothing.
He has an entire room dedicated to like his sneakers and I think all of his Disney stuff.
Let's all talk about how weird Tony is. So
No,
Tony
he's
doesn't
awesome.
drink
Tony's
hot
a-
beverages.
What?
Tony doesn't drink hot beverages.
Why?
Because it's weird to him.
Tony,
Doesn't matter
something
what.
else that he
Does
doesn't
he
like.
eat soup?
Ooh.
No, because that's different apparently. Because he's fucking weird.
Tony,
Okay?
if you're
I
here,
love him.
come
He's
on
a
the
wonderful
sidecar.
person.
Tony's a very sweet boy.
He's so wonderful.
Nathan called him Professional Good Boy one time, and that's like all I can think of.
So I already loved, Professional Good Boy is a very good title for him. I think I have a title on the back of my computer that Max made for me called Spicy Boy. Tony and I got to go to Disneyland Paris together with a few of the other people from the office.
I went there. That place is weird.
Disneyland Paris?
Yeah.
I like it, but it's weird.
It's real weird.
And basically, it immediately became me and Tony, the two old dads, enjoying Disneyland the way we wanted to, and the other group enjoying it as a different group. And I immediately was gravitated to how Tony was enjoying the park. And it was just, we wanted to get to our next places. Everyone else wanted to stop and like take photos and selfies and that kind of thing. And we were just like, we weren't like rushing to stuff, but we just wanted to get to the next thing.
Speaking of hot beverages, I had an extremely gross hot beverage at Disneyland Paris when I went there.
What was the gross beverage?
I want to say it was November when I went, so it was already getting chilly because it's Paris, and they had stands out that were selling hot spiced mulled wine. So it was like hot red wine filled with spices.
You've never had mulled
Yeah,
wine?
mulled wine is hot.
It was
typically.
fucking gross.
What?
It was.
Did they do it
fucking
wrong?
Okay, so wait a second.
disgusting.
You were prepping me to hear some sort of weird foreign drink that I've never heard before,
Yeah.
but you just said mulled wine was gross.
I feel like Griffin
gross.
used to make mulled
And they're
wine
selling
all
it
the
in
time.
Disney, by the way, which
That's
is
fine.
also a weird thing.
They sell a lot more alcohol in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, they do. No, it was absolutely disgusting.
No.
I'd heard people talk about mulled wine before, and I had it there, and I was like, no, I do not get this.
Have you
It's
had
fucking
mulled
disgusting.
wine prior?
No.
Have you had mulled wine?
Yeah.
Like
I think
it?
Bernie made some at his place one time. It was okay. It wouldn't be my drink of choice.
Oh, I don't even like alcohol, and I like mulled wine.
It's disgusting.
I prefer
That's a poll.
mulled
Is
cider.
mulled wine good? Yes or no?
Yes, it is.
While you get that ready, I want to read this here.
Wait, what was the nightmare thing? Was it Christmas?
It was Christmas.
It was
Resoundingly.
Christmas, yeah.
resounding.
I want to remind everyone this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by Audible. It's the time of the year when everyone is thinking about gifts. What about giving yourself the gift of an Audible membership? Audible has an unbeatable selection of audiobooks, and I love using it. I just found out today, actually, that Winter's Bone by Daniel Woodrell is on Audible, and I downloaded it. I didn't even realize it was a novel. It's narrated by Emma Galvin, I should say that. It's a thrilling story about a young woman's journey to find her father, for better or worse. There was a movie a few years ago with Jennifer Lawrence, which is why, and I love that movie, which is why I saw this book, and I absolutely had to buy it. I like to listen to Audible when I'm driving or running errands. Audible makes it so easy. Give yourself the gift of listening. Listen on any device, anytime, anywhere. And while you're at it, think about giving the gift of Audible to someone on your list. Go to audible.com/RT or text RT to 500-500. Browse their bestsellers, motivation, mysteries, thrillers, sci-fi, memoirs, and more. Try it out. As an Audible member, you can choose 3 titles every month, 1 audiobook, and 2 Audible originals that you can't hear anywhere else. Plus, your books are yours to keep. With Audible, you can go back and re-listen anytime, even if you cancel your membership. Don't like your audiobook? Exchange it, no questions asked. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 3 months of Audible for just $6.95 a month. That's more than half off the regular price. Go to audible.com/RT or text RT to 500-500. It's a great service. I love looking at my library and all the books I own. You can re-listen to them at any time. I'm going to re-listen to Game of Thrones before the next season comes out. All of them. All right, you got that poll ready?
2 things.
What?
1.
Go, if you're watching live, go to roosterteeth.com/play. Is
we got
mulled
the poll.
wine good?
2
Yes
things.
or no?
1, I downloaded Artemis, which is the follow-up to what's the Mars movie guy? The Mars book guy.
Yeah, him.
What's the name of the movie? The book?
The Martian?
Martian. That's his follow-up one, and it's read by Rosario Dawson, and it is a delight to listen to her read it. And 2, I feel like I made it sound like I didn't have a good time in Disneyland with everybody there. I just want to make sure that I had a very good time with everybody.
It's not like,
still.
yeah, you had your own time.
Just had a very different. way of
I'm happy with the
experiencing
way this poll's going, by the way.
Whoa, yeah.
A lot of
Oh,
notes.
it's so sad you all
it's
don't get to enjoy
very similar
a
to the
wonderful
results
beverage.
for Christmas versus Halloween movie.
Except more of a slaughter here.
it. 69, nice. No, it's 71 now. Go back 69.
But by the way, I thought based on the way chat was reacting that everyone was going to love mulled wine.
back
I
to
thought I was going to be
69.
the minority.
No,
Next, can we
damn it,
ask,
there it
is
is.
red wine good? Like, I'm curious if people just don't like wine.
Everyone loves wine, don't they?
No.
You guys are just whining too
Actually,
much.
I can think of a more
Get away from
divisive drink.
Were you mulling that one over?
No.
We are smart. We are smart.
Yep, that's what smart people say.
SMRT.
Thank you. Mulled wine is not good. We settled it for
Didn't
once
even give
and
it
for
a
all.
chance.
None of us can eat.
It's a
drink
little good.
mulled wine more. Eggnog. Where do we land
That's real
Disgusting.
gross.
on eggnog?
No, too thick.
Okay, 2 people were very resounding with their answer. Bimmy?
I don't know if I have had eggnog. It's okay for like a sip or 2.
Gotcha.
But after that, it's just like I feel like I have diabetes.
It's very rich.
It's so rich. It is good when you put some like whiskey in it.
Yo,
Drink
so
the
you
whiskey.
you no, it's
I was like, you submitted a recipe.
I did Gus's eggnog recipe. Was it last year, the year before?
1 cup eggnog, 1 cup whiskey. Remove cup of eggnog.
Drink
pour whiskey.
And I think eggnog is definitely one of those drinks that most people react the way you do and hate it. And there's just a very select few people who it's like...
Select few. I like the snobbery.
Isn't that
Was that snobbery?
Yeah, it's like there's a few people who like it.
There's a few of
there's
us.
a select
There's a few of us smart people who don't say puns and drink eggnog.
well? They're like old world treats that some people like, but the rest of us have evolved to things that taste better.
Okay.
I would say the majority of people like eggnog.
Majority of people
No.
like eggnog? No, I'd say the majority don't. I'd say
New poll.
Are we gonna go for a record third?
Do a third poll.
Well,
I just feel like
I have
I hear-
another drink that I wanted to bring up that I brought up. I was talking to, I think I was talking to my chat.
Go to roosterteeth.com/play if you're watching live.
That's going to be just like 99% no.
Oh, they flipped the
I
yes
feel like
and
it'll
no
be-
sides.
It'd be
It's
pretty.
like 2 people voted so far.
Fuck.
It's 2 people voted. That's all that was.
Okay.
Oh, okay. While they're deciding that, it's another milky drink with a bit of a rice base.
Brian, eggnog fan,
Horchata?
huh?
Horchata.
Oh, so
Delicious.
good.
Horchata's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Barbara looks confused.
Have you ever had it?
I have had it. I was just trying. I was reminded of American Vandal season 2 because of horchata. You guys seen that?
No,
I've
I
not
watched
seen it.
2
My
episodes
brother
of
is
it.
obsessed with that show.
But you know
it got canceled though. I heard.
Yeah.
They're not coming
Not
back for a
doing
third season. I
This
believe.
is way closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I
My
mean, a lot of
people.
people like eggnog.
My people.
The select few.
The select few. The select half.
Select 50%.
Horchata's good, right?
So good.
It's
It's kind of like a vanilla
cinnamony.
cinnamony.
Yeah. So it's rice water.
It's rice
It's
water.
like the runoff.
Does that make it healthy?
Cooking rice.
No.
No.
It's got so much
There's
sugar.
a lot of sugar.
It's so sugary. I've basically grown up my entire life around communities that had horchata around because of Southern California, and then I guess even now in Texas, I'm sure it's pretty easy to find. But I love horchata, and then all those like flavors, like wasn't it like tamarind, and then there's the other
The
one.
watermelon? Are you talking about just like aguas frescas?
Yeah,
in
the
general?
aguas frescas.
Oh,
Um,
I like the way you say that.
Well, this is like we can call it. It's pretty split.
It's pretty
Wow.
split, yeah.
that makes me so
But-
happy. I thought I was a fucking freak.
Majority says no. So you're a little freak.
Starbucks. I'm a little bit freak. Starbucks used to have an eggnog latte. I don't know if they still do, and I love that. Ooh, it was good.
Have they started the Christmas beverages yet?
Yeah,
now
they
that
have.
Halloween
I
is
had
over?
my first pumpkin spice latte
Well,
for the
that's
season.
pumpkin spice.
Well, that's fall.
Yeah, they had gingerbread and I don't know if they had the peppermint yet.
They always do that thing that I find annoying where they get in like all their Christmas supplies and they put it like in boxes that say like don't open until like November or whatever, and they
Yeah.
put the boxes like out in the store like you're supposed to be excited about a bunch of fucking cardboard boxes. It's just literally a pile of cardboard boxes that say like don't open till November 12th. Like just keep them in the back.
I have a Christmas question for y'all. When you've been in a relationship, what do you typically get your significant other's parents as gifts for Christmas, if anything?
A dog.
I've never.
It's just perfect. Get him a dog. Can't go wrong.
Can't do that.
Okay, 2 dogs.
I got 2 already. What do you guys do?
I actually had to do it recently.
Yeah.
Last year. You're talking about giving your significant others parents stuff.
Yeah, like if you're going to their house.
Oh, you're
and
gonna
I-
be there like for Christmas.
I'd never met them. They were British, and I knew very little about
so
them.
you had a big challenge.
So I leaned away from trying to like hit the mark and went for like just American absurdity. And so I went to the Capitol gift store in the state capitol, and I got them the worst, gaudiest Texas mugs because I knew they would use them because they drink tea, but they're just terrible Texas ones. And then I also got this was nice. I got a jar of like, because they sell like local preserves, like honey or jams that were made around here. It's like that and put those in like and wrapped them all up in this little gift package. But I gave them a terrible Texas one. Actually, her dad, I didn't give him preservatives. I got him a what's that called?
A bolo tie?
Bolo tie.
Very
nice.
Texan.
He liked it.
Like a gift basket, a meat and cheese basket. It was
That's
always
good.
well received by parents.
Delicious Boners in chat says, buy them a pig in exchange for their eldest son.
Oh, okay. Great suggestion.
It's
Maybe
weird.
not.
One of Josh's screen names on AIM was Delicious Boner.
I remember,
Yeah.
that's why it stood out.
It's really weird, yeah.
Delicious boner.
have we talked about that before?
I don't think so.
I remember that. I used AIM when I had him as a contact as Delicious Boner. I completely wiped that from my memory. What were you? Oh, you don't want to talk about it.
No, I mean it's gone. Like you can't use that service anymore.
True.
I used to be. I wish this was ICQ
Yeah.
Oh.
You
What
had
a
another,
fucking
like you had
nerd.
like Gus Hates You or something
or
too,
Gus
right?
hates AIM or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Gus hates you. That's right. That was it. I used that for a while too.
And like,
Bernie was like
didn't
Buzz.
you have something about cake?
Might be cake.
Might be cake. Yeah.
Bernie was like Buzzbee or something.
Something like that.
Buzz something.
Yeah, we went to. I came up with the name Might Be Cake because Jeff and I went to some show downtown, like at the Red Eyed Fly or something, and one of the opening acts was like this really young band of like they looked like they were all high school girls, and they're playing like this little punk band, and Jeff, we walked in and Jeff goes, "This is absolutely adorable. I bet if we stick around, there might be cake later." And I was like, "Might be cake." I was like, "That's really funny." So I saved. I made Might Be Cake my name.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Then years later, I found out the lead singer from that band died from a heroin overdose.
Whoa.
Not
Might be
a
heroin.
happy ending to that story.
Yeah, no.
There's a good button to that story.
I was like, "Oh, I remember that band." Like I read it in the Statesman. I was like, "So, local band member dead from a heroin overdose." Like, oh,
Damn.
I saw them.
But we found his AIM username. His real name was Gus.
Yeah, I had a few. R.I.P. AIM. Oh man, did you see that story? It was a really weird story that came out over the weekend about that guy. I think it was from the UK who died because he ate a garden slug.
What?
Why?
Why?
He, I guess it was like 8 years ago. This guy was at a party. I want to say he was 20 at the time. He was at a party and he was drinking with his friends, and like a slug. They saw a slug in the yard, and a bunch of guys dared him to eat the slug, so he ate it. But it turned out that it had some parasite in it. Like I think it was rat lungworm, and I think it made him quadriplegic. He had to go to the hospital a couple days later. Like it wasn't instant. Like he started feeling bad. He had to go to the hospital. Then he became a quadriplegic. Then I think he through physical therapy, he regained some limited use of I think his legs. And then eventually just the parasite got the best of him and he passed away.
Oh my God.
And it's like, you wouldn't think that. You think like, oh, it's just like hanging out, like whatever. It's like just a dumb slug. You could eat that.
Yeah.
Nope.
And it's
There's
like, no
good end to that story.
Yeah,
of
like
eating a slug.
that will kill you. Like that's
Like
fucking terrible.
what good thing happens at the end of that? What's the best case scenario? You ate a slug.
I think people probably just think of it like, oh, eat this cricket or spider or whatever. Like,
Jackass.
it's not going to do anything
Right.
to you. It's just like a
Yeah,
bug
but
or whatever.
eating any animal that you do not know if it is safe, just regardless.
But it just makes me think like, he was a young, very healthy person. I think he was playing rugby. He was like well known for how good he was at rugby. But it makes me think about like how tenuous of a hold you have on life. Like one seemingly innocent decision. It's like, oh, that's going to ultimately lead to your death.
I think about that shit every day.
That's crazy to me.
So I read this terrifying Reddit post the other day. I think the question was like, what is like a real world terror
Yeah.
that you're afraid of? And it's rabies. This guy commented, and he's like, he played out this entire scenario.
Oh,
Did you
I've
read that?
read that.
Where he's like, say you're outside, you're taking a nap in a hammock. A tiny little bat that is in the throes of its like furious stage of rabies bites you, but it's so small you don't even realize that it has been on you. The next
Like it doesn't
day,
break skin. It just scratches you.
He's like, the next day you maybe see a scratch on your knee, maybe you don't. You're fine. A year later, you start getting headaches. And it goes through, and it's like, by the time
I
they
don't need the
realize
rest of
you
the
have
story.
rabies, you're dead.
Oh,
And
don't
you
need to think
get
about
really
this.
hydrophobic when you have rabies. So that's why you foam at the mouth.
Oh, but the good news is that it's not curable.
Exactly.
Right. Like if you don't
You're
get
dead.
treatment immediately.
And you don't even know that you need treatment.
So I
by
could
the-
have rabies right now is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they, like in this scenario, I believe the bat that they said was so light, like it wouldn't even wake you up. Like you wouldn't have even felt it fall on you.
But you're good because you don't go outside. So keep.
I've been outside a few times.
Yeah, I read that. I was fucking
What are some other
terrified.
symptoms?
There's a video, and I think it's on YouTube, of a guy. It was like in Afghanistan or something. There was a community that was attacked by a band of rabid wolves, and they have medical footage of him going through the like final stages of rabies, and it basically turns you into a zombie. Like it's like the closest to a
you
zombie
become
disease.
erratic and
Well, that's why I think it's like rabies has essentially been like the basis of some zombie films, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
think
can't drink water.
Days
Just even
Later.
the thought
I
of
think it was
drinking
Rage,
water
I
makes you
thought.
want to throw up, and your brain is swelling and freaks out. Like the part that's like fight or flight is super enlarged, and yeah, it's just it's a really crazy video to watch.
I don't like
so
this
now
subject.
I have a new fear.
Yeah, it's
Jesus,
you can
man.
get vaccines for rabies just like dogs.
Just like preventative kind of thing.
Like if you're an outdoorsy type, wouldn't hurt to.
Yeah.
It made me think though about the people that handled the rabid bat, like during RTX.
Yeah.
Hey, there was a rabid bat in downtown
Yes,
Austin.
not at
the
RTX.
same time
During the same
RTX
weekend.
was going
Yes.
on. I know because the local news headline was like rabid bat at RTX.
Yeah.
Like, nope.
Nope, it was on the street.
So I told Jeff that we should make a band called Rabid Bat and perform next year at RTX.
Oh yeah. Rabid bat at
Rabid Bat
RTX.
at RTX. Yeah. We used to say that kind of stuff all the
People
time.
went
We come up with
crazy
band
for
names.
them.
Yeah. Man, there was speaking of people going crazy, like there have been so many rumors. I don't know if you kept up with it. Like all this morning, it was like Amazon's narrowed down their list of head HQ2 candidates. It's like,
Is
Austin's on the list. Austin's
still-
not on the list. Austin's on a shared list. Austin's not on a shared list.
Is it still on the list?
Who knows?
Okay.
It's all speculation. But I don't know what happened over the weekend. But all of a sudden this morning, people were fucking nuts with these lists. And I think it was like there were two competing thoughts. Like some people said it was going to be split between like Dallas and Virginia, and other people were saying it was going to be split between Austin and Virginia.
I've heard, like DC area is pretty much the most likely outcome.
And some people also said maybe New York.
Well, a lot of people think it's going to come to Texas because Jeff Bezos has ties to Texas, which I only recently learned. He's cousins with George Strait, which is just like, I will bring this up any chance I have. It's really weird.
Now
And
I
doesn't
know.
like Armadillo Aerospace, they do things out in West Texas, right? That's also a Bezos initiative.
I don't know about that, but I trust you.
Armadillo Aerospace.
I wonder if I could guess the last thing you bought on Amazon. I wonder how close I could get. Because you buy stuff on Amazon,
I bet
right?
he
I buy
buys
stuff on
really
Amazon
practical
all the
things.
time.
Batteries.
Right. No. Let's make a guess.
Y'all can guess. I'm looking up Armadillo Aerospace. While you guess.
The last thing Gus would have bought.
No-show socks.
No-show socks? I need to buy socks. It reminded me I need to buy socks.
Oh no, Jeff Bezos is Blue Origin, not Armadillo.
I'm gonna guess some type of household cleaner.
55 gallons of
Pie
laundry
Tods.
detergent.
Pie Tots. The last thing that Gus Sorolla bought on Amazon is a fish tank.
K-cups.
For the record, I never wear no-show socks.
Okay.
He wants to show those babies.
Sure does.
So, I really wish that they were a sponsor today. But the last thing I bought on Amazon was a product from Ring.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
What?
You know, Ring, the security
doorbell.
camera and stuff. I
Oh.
bought something from Ring.
So you didn't buy a fish tank.
on Amazon.
I bought lip balm and batteries. I think that's my latest.
I feel like whenever I need batteries, I need them immediately, so I'd never like order them from Amazon.
I'm down to 2, so it was time to get more.
Damn it. I was gonna bring something on the podcast that I bought this weekend. I bought a Tamagotchi.
No way.
They're back.
Did you say Tamagotchi?
A Tamagotchi.
Not Tamagotchi?
I'm Canadian.
Pokemon.
Speaking of language puns, Tamagotchi is one of my favorite ones.
Is it pun?
Because it's in Japanese, tamago is egg and tomodachi is friend.
Oh.
So it's egg friend.
Egg friend.
Egg friend.
Yeah, I was at Urban
That's cool.
Outfitters and they were
That's
selling
good.
them
I
there
like
because
that.
they sell a lot of like old, like it used to be trendy, now it's trendy again type things. I spent $25 on it and I was playing with it and I'm like, God, this thing's annoying. It's like just like what you have to do if you want to like step away or go to sleep, you just like set the timer or go to like the timer setting page and like have it pause, basically like you're resetting the time, and then just leave it. That's the only way to pause it.
You'd be a great parent.
Yeah.
How do I pause baby?
How do I pause baby?
I was playing with it with Trevor, and we named it Beak because it has a little beak after it gets older. But we would like step away for a few minutes, and then it would be like, beep, 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 beep. And it's just like, oh, it shat on the floor. I gotta clean this. And like,
My kids make the same
realistic.
noise.
This thing is just always hungry and always unhappy.
Take it to the draft house with you.
I showed my kids Fellowship of the Ring for the first time this weekend.
How did that go?
Were they bored
They
to death?
loved it.
Really? Okay.
They loved it because we like watched a segment because it was on sale on Amazon to get the Blu-ray extended edition trilogy, and I only had it on DVD, so I wanted it on Blu-ray, so I bought it again. And it's the extended version of the movie, and so we had to watch it in like stints, but they loved it, and it gets like a little like intense at points, but they were fine with it.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but I feel like it's long. It's a traveling movie.
There's a part. I love how kids react differently to stuff. There's a part when they're in the mines and they're fighting the orcs in the room right before the cave troll comes in. Mm-hmm. And so they're all doing their stuff. And at one point, Aragorn has a pretty good swipe at one of them and lops off his head and like blood spurts out. And I knew that was coming. And I was wondering how my kids would deal with that. And that was going to be a good gauge because I think Fellowship actually is probably the most like nice of them, and they get darker and darker. So I'm like, let's see how well they do. And I may or may not stop. And so I turned and watched them, and I have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. And I watched, and the 8-year-old was wrapped in a blanket. And when that happened, she jumped and like hit part of her face, but she kept watching. I turn and look at my 5-year-old. She's sitting next to me on the couch, and she just immediately turns at me with a smile and just laughing at how funny that was. I was like, "You're a little sociopath."
It's like, play it again.
But we both looked at each other and just had this little laugh moment as we watched an orc's head fall off. It was fantastic.
It was awesome. Man, that's really cool.
It was not the reaction I thought that the younger sister would do when she saw someone get beheaded.
You should maybe take her to therapy.
But she freaks out at other stuff too, like little kid. Like we watched Goosebumps, the movie, and that's like kids horror movie. It's super like light, and there were like intense moments like that she gets like all freaked out. But this was nothing to her. It was fantastic.
That's cool.
Goosebumps is Clementine's favorite show. I've watched every episode probably 3 times, and they're taking it off Netflix in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today.
It's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, I was referencing your Jack Black
on.
feature film.
Yeah, no, this is
I'm
the
gonna play with my
series. You have 2
Tamagotchi
weeks.
and watch Goosebumps.
There you go. It's totally 90s. The hair on that show, oh my.
Yeah.
It is. And it's Canadian too, so especially close to home.
Was Are You
Pride
Afraid of
of
the Dark
Canada.
also a Canadian?
Yes.
Yep.
There's a kid that was on both of them. I was like, that guy was from the other leading children's horror
typecast.
series.
Those scary Canadians.
Boo.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up.
Too spooky.
So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Watch Extra Life
Watch Extra Life this weekend.
on Saturday.
Bye.
Bye.